Let's talk about the power of we today on Motivation Monday. This week in our text at the Bridgewood Church of Christ, we're studying from Acts chapter 16. And it's an incredible chapter of the Bible that is packed full of so many things that are going on. We're introduced to Timothy. Paul has a vision and receives the Macedonian call. We're introduced also to Lydia. They cast a spirit out of a girl in Philippi and then are beaten and arrested, put in prison. There's an earthquake. They were released, and then the Philippian jailer is obedient to the gospel. There's a lot of things that go on in just one chapter. But right there in the text is a very subtle change. Chapter 16, verse 10 of the book of Acts. We know that Luke was the author of the book of Acts, and so far he'd been referring to, using pronouns to refer to things that were going on. They were like he and they and them. But in 16 verse 10, after they leave Troas, which is where Luke lived, we see that he starts using the pronoun we. And so he's traveling now with Paul, with Silas, with Timothy to Philippi, and in different sections of the book of Acts, we see this pronoun used again. And the power of we is so pronounced in Acts chapter 16. Timothy, who I like to refer to, and several others like to refer to as the MacGyver of the Bible, fixed the problems that Paul would face, is a lifelong companion and ministry partner for Paul. The power of we. Lydia also becomes a great supporter of the ministry of Paul and of Silas. The power of we. And then also the fact that Paul wasn't alone in that Philippian jail. He had Silas right by his side. And we find them at midnight after they've been beaten with rods, singing and praying in the prison. The prisoners listening, and then eventually the Philippian jailer obeying the gospel call. The power of we. Remember, in this life, we can't get by on our own. If we try to get by on our own, we might for a while, but we need the power of we in our lives. We need the power of that church family to help us in the challenges that we face. Let me encourage you this week to spend time in prayer, giving thanks for the power of we that we experience in our lives, for those around us who support us and who lift us up, for those who are our neighbors and our friends, who we also can support and lift up, and for those who are in our family, who we're supposed to constantly be loving and encouraging and helping in our walk of faith. Never forget the power of we. God bless you this week.